Top of the evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for a not live episode tonight. It's a pre-recorded. We're glad you could join us here tonight. We got a big show tonight. We got a PGA Championship to debrief. We got some housekeeping as usual. And we got a special segment on the King Lab Rats. So we got a few guys who are going to hopefully improve their golf skills over the summer. We're going to have Reggie help them out with that. And we got their goals for tonight. So without further ado, Drums, I would say best show ever.
Might as well.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I am joined by the brothers behind King Golf, Regan and Jordan Headley. As we always do, we're sending it up north to see what's going on with our boy Reg. How's it going, buddy?
Boys, doing well. Did a little bit of yard work tonight. Watched the Kings beat the Sioux Thunderbirds and booked their ticket to the Centennial Cup semifinals on Saturday. Jor, I know he watched 2 games. I just went for the game on Sunday, but he stayed for the one on Tuesday. That rink in Estevan is sick. The atmosphere, the buzz around the national championship is untouchable, I would say. It was pretty sweet to be there. Yeah, good luck to the Kings on Saturday in the semifinals.
They've never won a national, right?
No.
Beauty. Well positioned so far.
I would say so.
Mm-hmm. Have you golfed this week or no?
Actually, I played Friday in that tournament.
With the snow?
We came up a little short. It snowed about 6 times throughout the round. It was a shit show. That's probably the hardest I've ever played Gilbert. I've never played Gilbert. They tipped it right out from the blues, and you could legitimately hit driver on every single par 4 or 5 on the course, which I've never had the chance to do that before. It was playing so long and so hard. Like there's a few
video you took.
Yeah.
Why don't you send it to me?
That was our first tee shot. I just found it at coffee break today. I remember I took it. But the course actually, surprisingly, with all the water and everything else, held up unreal. The greens held up somehow. We had 35 teams, so 35 teams of 4. The course is buzzing. A team actually shot 13 under. It was Chachi Fletcher there, shot 13 under. So that's an impressive round in that, man. I don't know. We thought 10 might win it. That's how tough it was playing, but wow. It was wild. And other than that, I've only played the one round. I skipped men's night last night to watch the Kings game against Flin Flon. But for some reason, I don't know. I haven't had the big itch to get out there yet, but soon enough.
Jor, what's going on over there, buddy?
Top of the evening to you, Reggie, Drums. Viewers from all across Canada, our beautiful nation. Drums has
had enough of that.
Yeah, Drums said, "Fuck it, we're out of here." He's back.
Oh, he's back.
Okay. Welcome back, Drums. We got lots on the docket tonight. I would say too much. Hopefully, we can cram it into an hour here. First off, Drums. Every time you do that intro there, where you say "like we always do," I always play that Kanye song in my head.
Like we always do with this
time. I've got to shine.
Throw your hands up.
That's one part of my how am I doing? A couple more things to touch on quickly. Had another big supper tonight. I went back to the stir fry. I'm kind of boycotting Spence Bros because I went about a full year of doing free promotions for them and never heard from them. So
no free ads.
No free ads here. If they want us to keep talking about the Spence Bros, we're gonna have to
cough it up.
Ante up, show us the pizza, baby.
And on that note too, couple sublets of that or subheadings. Dal texted me saying that Spence Bros make just the crust now that you can buy, so you can make your own pizza. So I'm gonna try that out for sure. Have you guys tried? You're both nodding.
No. I've seen it.
But you've seen them?
when I did it, I just felt like the cost of it versus the cost of buying all the toppings that they already have on there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What
And
what
it's not
was
like
it?
they have
What's the
shitty
cost of it?
toppings.
They've got good
It's
sauce
$4,
too.
maybe.
They do have good sauce, really good
I'm not
sauce.
I'm not a big pizza sauce guy. Like I actually hate it. But theirs is good.
I know. Theirs is good. So we put out a poll on Instagram today. Should Spence Bros sponsor the Kingdom? I don't know. So far, pretty well received. But also at the same time, who votes no on those kind of things, you know?
Did you tag them?
Probably Spence Bros did.
Hey, can't you
like
see who
20%.
votes?
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like,
man.
who does that? Like, I don't know. If I'm leaving a comment or like something, it's always like positive. I don't know. Also, some little a-hole messaged our account saying, I told Drums this whole story. It's pretty well. I won't get into the whole thing, but he sent us a message saying, quit pretending that video is yours, talking about Uncle Doug's at the Ironman. So I just tore a strip off him. I was gonna just ignore him, but I went off on him. So whatever. Hopefully
What was his name?
that doesn't make the news. Davey, and I actually chirped him about his name too. So I cut him pretty deep. I think
he's licking his wounds right now.
Yeah.
We'll have a screenshot of the conversation post on Twitter later on tonight.
No, we won't. And finally, one more point on that was for the stir fry. I cooked the noodles, I cooked the chicken, went to grab soy sauce out of the fridge, and there was nothing there. So I was like, I knew that I was empty, but I couldn't find the bottle anywhere. It wasn't in the recycling. It wasn't washed on the counter. Wasn't lying around anywhere. So I'm like, what's going on here? Anyways, looked in the cupboard or one of the cabinets, and it's sitting in there. Brilliant. So I must have just blacked out and put it in there. But are you allowed to eat it after it's been sitting out? Because it says it's supposed to be refrigerated.
I don't know. When you go to like the Chinese spots, it's just sitting on the table, right?
True. That's kind of what I thought too. And they're not sealed or anything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah.
but I think if it was at one time refrigerated, it probably needs to go back in the refrigerator. But I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Well, we shall see. So far, so good, but maybe not either. So
yeah, you told me your asshole was ready to explode.
Usually, if I have any food questions on whether it's good or not, I text Mom, but I didn't have time tonight. I just went ahead with it. So she probably would have said it's okay. Anyways, that's enough of me. That was a long-winded what's going on. But anyways, Drums. What's going on over there?
We just got back from a big supper as well. We just had with the in-laws, I guess it was Liz's dad's birthday a couple weeks ago, and we were finally able to get together. So we had dinner up at Albert's, and I stuffed my face as full as I could.
Albert, underrated.
Chicken and ribs. What's that?
Is that beside the pita pit and like the mini golf course?
Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Easton asks me every time we're by there to go eat there.
Service is a little iffy sometimes, but the food's unreal.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah.
Like, what would you compare it to, like Karina's or?
Well, better.
Yeah.
Better?
Except they have supper too.
Oh, yeah.
Like really good steak, really good prime rib.
Prime rib's unreal. Yeah. Ribs are tits.
Ribs too, yeah.
Get that.
Ribs are underrated, eh? We were talking about that on the weekend.
Ribs are pretty underrated. I'm not a messy eater guy, so even wings, I got to be clean with wings. So like
I just never think of getting them though, but every time I eat ribs, I'm like, damn, these are good.
Are you like that, Drums? Like you gotta lick your fingers after they get a little. Like I can't just keep eating with dirty hands.
Yeah, I'm the same too.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
It drives me up the wall.
And Luke is like that. As soon as like he touches something, he just puts his hand up like.
Wash me.
Wash me.
Yeah. No, other than that, I haven't golfed either. It's been 2 weeks probably, I guess, since we went.
Sweet golf podcast we got.
It's because so much shit going on. Away from us, hey?
Yeah. And we had to get out to the cabin this weekend to get things opened up and get going at Rivers. A lot of water there, but it's starting to go down, so that's good. But it's nice weather finally, so I think we're finally there, boys.
I think so too.
According
to Waters, we are. Hey.
Yeah, he's key in that.
This is a text from Waters to the group. Good news is river levels have crested. Checks today downstream of course showing a reduction, but historically takes 1 to 2 weeks to return to normal levels. So
he's well informed.
Good analysis, Waters.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll take it.
He lives for that shit.
And we've got a round planned for Pleasant Valley this weekend, boys.
Oh yeah, true. Because we couldn't play Killarney.
Yeah.
PV will be fun. I think the boys will enjoy PV more than Killarney. I think our group of guys will.
I think so too.
I'm very happy. I never played there before. I
You
played
haven't,
Killarney
eh?
a bunch, but I've never played Pleasant Valley.
Killarney's really nice, but it's hard and it's
So hard. It's not what you want to do at a Saturday of a social.
Pleasant Valley's hard too, but it's like kind of cool too. Like there's some cool holes, lots of elevation change and stuff. So it'll be fun.
A little bit of housekeeping before we get to housekeeping. You don't have to refrigerate soy sauce, but it's quite beneficial to do so. Once you open a bottle, soy sauce retains best quality for at least a few months if refrigerated, but only about a month if you leave it room temperature.
That's okay then.
So
I figured as long as it wasn't sitting in the sun, it should be okay. But I mean, it's good. It's better to put soy sauce in the cupboard instead of like chocolate milk or something if you're like out of it.
Better.
You know? Yeah. So it was an honest mistake.
Yeah, live and let learn.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that we got the pre-housekeeping done, let's get to some housekeeping. Some tough news in Oklahoma this weekend for sure.
JT winning, yeah, that's tough.
Well, and
T-Dubs
withdrawing. I honestly I didn't watch enough to know. Was like third round, was he limping around quite a bit?
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
So what's
he
the
wasn't
point,
even in the first round.
Yeah, like second round it was bad.
It was too cold for him. He can't play in the cold. I don't know how he's going to play in the open.
When he's geared up for that. Like that's the one he was most. He was saying like he would be most ready for because it's so flat. It's easier to walk.
Most walkable, yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's cold, like you know how the joints are when it's cold out. Like it's hard to warm up and to be, you know, I don't know.
Did you see John Daly said if he would have taken a cart, he would have been in contention?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, so like Daly's advocating for him to take a cart.
I don't think he'll do it.
He'll never in his life.
Okay, but should he?
He should. Well, okay. What do you guys want from Tiger for like the rest of his career?
I'd like to see him win some more. I think he can. He has it in his bag. I mean, look at the condition he's in right now, and he's still making
push himself to get to that. Because after seeing that, I don't know that he can literally force himself to make it that far anymore.
Yeah.
Like it was almost sad to watch.
It's tough to say.
And that's kind of what
tough to say.
Some guys were saying were like, I don't know, like it's amazing what he's done and what he's come back from, but at the same time, I don't want my image of Tiger in my head to be tarnished from kind of this.
Yeah, it won't be though.
And I'm kind of
fell to his knees at the U.S. Open.
And won.
That was 15 years ago and won. So it's like, I don't know. It was cold. I don't know if he was playing that great. He's only played 2 competitive rounds since he broke his leg or whatever happened to him. Like, it's tough to say what he's got in his future, but I don't know. It's still nice to see him hitting shots. Like he starts the tournament with a birdie.
Right.
Rip tee shot, dart to 3 feet and makes it. Like
I was literally running around the office like a little girl.
So I don't know. Like I don't know what kind of injury he has, and if it will eventually get better as he goes. But it sounds like he's only going to be playing majors, and I don't know what kind of it's tough. It's tough to do that because that's 4 tournaments a year. Like,
I imagine he'll play more than that. But that said, like, would you rather see him, I guess, kind of middle of the packet, like scrap for making cuts, or just see him retire?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too.
I'd rather watch him be the worst golfer on the course and watch every shot of it.
And you know what? Like you see him in interviews now, and he's got the biggest smile on his face. He's having fun. He's bullshitting with the guys. Like he just seems like a completely different person. And
he's ripped.
Yeah, he's shredded. can't walk, but he's shredded.
He'll get it back.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
so
been
too.
through this stuff before. It's not like he missed the cut and withdrew first day. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
he showed enough to, you know,
He
he made the cut.
makes 2 cuts at majors, like just casually.
Yeah, like he's playing against the best golfers in the world who literally play every day and practice for 6 hours a day and are in way better physical condition, not like condition, but like
It's hard to believe.
body.
It's actually hard to believe.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
And I don't think like people are still shitting on him for withdrawing. It's like, okay, well,
What, did you want him to crawl the next?
yeah. What would
2
be the
days?
point of him finishing there?
yeah, okay, he's gonna finish 79th. Right on. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Although we would watch his entire round and we would catch none of the leaders if that was the case.
Yeah, true. Which I'm okay with, but some people
Bad to see JT win though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He played fucking good.
Yeah.
Did you guys see? So obviously, Mito, however you say it, his name's actually Shalarmo, as we talked about on the podcast before. But
Great name.
it's tough that he doubles last hole. I mean, God, because he played so good the whole week, from what I hear, like just solid, just rock solid, like the whole week. And then comes down to the last hole and hits into the water there.
How about that drive?
Was it a bad shot or did he just get unlucky?
Terrible swing.
Oh, well, I mean, that's part of being young, right? Like,
100%. Like he was playing on, he was on Corn Ferry last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, this
the
is
year
his rookie
before?
year. Yeah, because they were talking about him. He's on that Netflix. So it was actually featured this week. So every week they spotlight 3 guys, and like go like behind the scenes, like at their houses and like off course and on course they follow.
that'll be sick to watch.
Did you see who the 3 were?
No. They
JT,
picked it right or what?
Oh.
JT, Mito, and Fitzpatrick.
Oh, wow.
Like what? So that's going to be like, it said, like the tweet said, it was, of course it was from Rappaport, because Rappaport knows everything that's important in the world. He just said like they're just hoping that one would line up and this is it. Like they struck gold basically.
All 3.
Like that. Yeah, that's, I mean, the footage that they would have got from that week at a major, picking the top 3 players. I mean, that's,
Well,
wow.
was Fitzdog in the final pairing too?
I don't know if he was in the final pairing, but
He was up
it's
there.
Do you think that has any, because historically when they pick the 3 guys, like, have they not really performed well?
I don't know.
I feel like it'd either be like you're playing better because you know that there's going to be lots of people watching it, like, you know,
Right.
sometimes that happens, but it also could go the reverse too, where you put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they got the part where, like, because JT talked about how after Saturday's round, like, he was just putting way too much pressure on himself. So he just said Sunday he's just going to go out and enjoy himself, and then he wins. Like his caddy, actually, he said he wouldn't have won the tournament if it wasn't for Bones.
Bonesy. Well, I think that was kind of a little pickup for Bones after all the Phil shit coming out and people trying to get on Bones and shit. But did you see they now have like those whoops? Is that what it is?
Yeah. They
have like the statistics, like they released the statistics of the players from the night before. So like that morning they had JT's like sleep schedule on the broadcast and everything.
Really?
And it was he had the best sleep he said he had in a month the night before.
Guy's insane, actually. Jordan, I know you don't like him, but he's sick. What did he do before the sleep?
Yeah.
Guess.
Hit the pen. As Stevie Bongerman says, I can't disclose that. Stevie Bongerman.
Does he have a girl?
JT? Yeah, I think so.
He hangs out with Tiger, though, so.
Probably babe.
Should we bring her up?
One last little piece of that.
Pluck it.
Zalatoris' putting stroke from 3 feet. Some of the most uncomfortable television I've ever watched.
I can relate to that though. I've been there before.
No, you've never been like that.
Not quite
Nope.
that bad.
No.
I would also hit a better stroke and miss the putt. So, I mean, who's better off?
Right.
Looks like he's like trying to get through a maze in his stroke. It's
Yeah.
unreal, man.
It's like there's tees or something lined up behind him,
like
and he's
gotta
weaving through
Oh
them.
my
Yeah.
god, it's uncomfortable, but
It is hard to watch, but it'd be even harder to execute that and try to contend in a golf tournament.
Yeah, can you imagine how he feels? He's like, "Fuck, I got to do this again."
So is that?
But he doesn't.
Putts or
Yeah, short putts because he's money from outside
Yeah.
like 10 feet.
mm-hmm. Do you think that? Well,
That's crazy.
Whatever. It's tough to say switch coaches when you're finishing like second place in every tournament, but it's like find a coach that can help you with that though.
Is he missing a lot of those though, or is it just a bad stroke?
He probably missed like 3 or 4 a tournament, I would say.
Yeah. And that's a big difference, right? When you're at that level of things, and then that spot of the leaderboard, like 3 or 4 strokes.
I shouldn't talk like that. Let's say two per tournament, which is still a lot for professional.
He's still making them though. That's the wild part.
Yeah.
Like, how do you hit it right off the toe and make that, especially on the PGA with those greens like that?
I don't think you could try and do that.
But it's like good for him that he can putt that way and they still go in the hole.
I don't know.
He just wills it in.
Because you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to get stuck in that routine for the rest of your life.
Which he is.
I don't think so. Like, usually when you have the yips like that, like, they don't last forever.
I don't know. You ever see Charles Barkley?
Remember when Ernie Els? How many putts did he hit?
It was like 7.
I think he made an 11. He made an 11, so whatever it was.
It was like 7 putts within like 6 feet.
Was that on number 1 at the Masters?
Yeah, 1 or 2. Yeah.
First hole of the week. Wow. See you later.
I would have just walked off. Walked off.
I would have quit. Yeah. George, do you want to go over the picks right now or at the end of this?
To shotgun?
Mm-hmm.
We can do it right now. I've been incubating.
Okay, so Shane, we're not sure Shane's last name. He always he's a frequent watcher. Always comments.
His cat's name's Murphy.
He picked Cam Young. So that's solid. Tied 2.
Good job, Shane.
I picked Rory, of course, as always. Rory finished 8th. And Drums picked Shane Lowry, 23rd. And Jor picked Tiger, WD.
Yeah, good for you guys.
WD.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Well,
do it.
I'm proud of you to go down with the ship, but
you went down.
Are you drinking a Kokanee?
Oh yeah.
Man, I bought Kokanee on the weekend.
I wanted to say because the reason I picked is because there's only one in my fridge, for one. Reggie was just talking about it on the weekend. Oh. And a listener of the show, Bryce Giroux, this is his favorite beer. So I figured I'd give some shout outs that, this is a hard hole. Yeah, I know.
That's what he said.
This is hard. Okay, there we go. It's hard to do this. Good thing it's not live. Have we done a live shotgun yet?
No.
I feel like that'd be a lot of pressure. That's a pretty good hole. I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, well, this one's to Drums didn't want to watch it, but this one's for Tiger Woods. He'll be back. And to Bryce Giroux, the mayor of Cirrus Glenwood. Got to get out there soon. I think that they're I wonder what their course is like. Last time I talked to him, they were just putting their bridges in. So anyways, here we go to Tiger.
That a boy.
Is it? Is it that a boy?
No.
Okay, I don't know how to mute this.
That was pretty piss poor. Reg, did you see the Barstool guys hanging out with Tig?
No.
They met him on one of the practice screens, and what's the main guy, Riggs?
Riggs, yeah.
He's like, "What's up, my brother?" Tiger says that to him.
Really?
I'd have blown my load right there.
Yeah,
Well,
that's insane. Isn't it? Like that? I don't know.
That's
I
nuts.
knew this was going to be a 2-beer show, but I forgot about the shotgun, so it's turning into a 3-beer show here.
Uh-oh.
That's all right.
Off the Rails podcast?
Oh boy.
Sorry, Mom.
Please no.
Sorry, Mom. We should do another off the rail soon, but we should all get drunk instead of just me. Or drums on 420.
Yeah, holy Christ.
Oh, I just thought of something here now. I lost it.
You forgot?
Okay, well, I know we're not live, but we're still recording here, so let's carry on.
We're just waiting for you, pal.
No, I'm just cracking another beer, baby.
Debacle over there.
Okay, so do we got all the housekeeping done?
Yeah, I had something, but I don't know what it was.
So you didn't.
Well, I know we mentioned it already, but let's quickly talk about how cool it is that the Kings are doing so well in Estevan right now. Just quickly. Because that is some good hockey. Like, I haven't followed a lot of Kings throughout the year, but they got a pretty solid team, and it's just fun to watch good hockey, you know? And that rink in Estevan, I saw Hags yesterday too. He spotted a King hat from a mile away.
Really?
But that rink in Estevan is dangerous.
What do you mean?
Like, good. That's probably the nicest rink I've ever been in, to be honest with you. It had
Akon dangerous.
Yes. Just I don't know. They have like a walking track around it like Dauphin, but they have like what did you call them up there, Rigo? Booths? No, not booths.
Yeah.
Boxes.
Yeah, boxes.
Which is pretty cool. Like, they're not huge boxes, not like the Wheat King size boxes, but they fit like probably 5 or 6 people per box. And it's like
No, more than that.
Rink.
Like 5 or 6 people to watch, but then they're deep
Lower
too.
level. Yeah, right. Lower level watching. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, man.
It was cool. And I mean, they played some good teams. They played those boys from PEI, Summerside PEI. I mean, the first couple minutes of that game, we were like, holy shitski, they're going to get spanked here, because they were all over them. And then the Kings ended up winning 7-1. So they just kind of weathered it and came back. And but it sounds like the Brooks team, that's the team to beat. So they're kind of shit kicking the other pool. And that's who probably the Kings will end up playing in the finals if they make it there. So that'll be a fun one to watch. Hopefully it doesn't end up like the Vernon Dauphin series from 08, 09.
Yeah. 2010.
That was Dally?
Yeah.
That was Dally. So good luck to the Kings the rest of the way. It's been pretty fun to watch. They got a hell of a team, and they got some good young guys, and one hell of a goalie. Holy shit, that's Sherapak.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Sherapak, yeah.
God, he's good.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Where's he going? Is he 20?
No, he's only 19, so he's turned down one. Actually, I shouldn't say it on here, but yeah, he's turned.
Anyways,
you can.
Yeah, one school wanted him to come there next year, but he wants to finish out his junior career, so he's
got to respect that.
Yeah, he wants to play his 20-year-old year in the MJ with the Kings. So things will. I mean, that guarantees them to be near the top of the league next year. He's that good. So
wow. So he's better than Rubes?
Rubes texted me today. He's like, Daryl's gonna come by and grab my club because he left it in. Where were we last year?
I have no idea.
Oh, so my stag. My stag.
Oh, right. No, it would have been Reggie'S.
Oh yeah, Reggie'S. It was in Saskatoon. So, anyways, he's like, he's gonna come get my iron. I forget if it's a 7 or an 8. So I'm like, where the hell is that club? So I finally tracked it down, looked at it.
A 5 iron, wasn't it?
It's a 9 iron. I'm like, how many clubs are you missing? He thought it was a 7 or an 8, and it was actually a 9. I said, get a new set.
Well, remember he lost his driver for like a year?
I gave him mine.
Yeah. He's all over the place.
He still has it.
Oh,
he's a one of a kind. Speaking of good hockey, have you guys watched Connor McJesus lately?
Insane.
Oh my
Sickening.
God. It's gross.
Yeah.
Completely gross.
It is gross. He just seems to be getting better somehow, which is wild.
It's insane. Like, just okay, I'm the only guy on the team. Everybody hop on.
And if I've ever
Which
had
didn't work for the first couple of years of their playoffs, but seems to be now.
I think
If I've
Kane
ever had
is
an accurate
Kane is
call-
the biggest pickup. Like,
So I was just gonna
Ever.
say,
Oh, no kidding.
if I've ever said anything that came true, I was saying to everybody at the trade deadline, like, oh, they don't want Kane, they don't want Kane. Their dressing room was an absolute shit show at the trade deadline.
to
And
begin
there
with,
was nothing he could have done to make that room worse.
to make it worse. Yep.
And you pick up a 30-goal scorer, a perennial 30-goal scorer. And how is it going to hurt playing with the best player in the world when he's a fast goal scorer? Like, obviously, they're going to gel, right?
Yeah,
For sure. And I mean, if
crazy actually.
Kane had an ounce of brains in his head, he would have shut the fuck up and played for
Yep.
6 months, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because whatever, you're in debt, all that shit, whatever that stuff is, all you had to do was shut up, play for 6 months, you're going to get another contract.
Crazily, he's going to get signed in the offseason. That's absolutely mind-blowing.
To
with
another
all the
big
stuff
deal.
that guy's been through.
To another big deal.
Yeah.
They got to make a movie about him, man, honestly.
Love him or hate him, like he's got talent.
He's good.
Oh.
Nobody would ever deny that.
He
Yeah.
scored multiple goals in 5 of their 11 playoff games this year.
Wow. How about that goal that Smith let in last night?
Oh, my God.
I
Like, what the hell?
was watching it, and when it happened, I was like, I thought it was a replay. I was like, and then they just started skating around that they scored. I was like, no, what the fuck just happened? I couldn't figure it out what happened.
Who's he
Because
I
mad
almost
nobody
saw
knew
the
what the hell
highlight.
happened.
What happened with it? Did they say?
Well, he says it like the puck
Had to have been a
blended in with the
curveball.
defenseman's jersey, and he just completely lost it from there. And so it looked terrible because he was like, "What the fuck?"
Who was he mad
defenseman.
at?
Yeah, it was Keith. And
He was
was
mad
like,
at Keith?
"Yeah, what the fuck, me? You just let in a goal from the other end of the rink."
Of
I'm
course it
actually
happens,
hopping on the
man.
Oilers bandwagon for the rest of the way, I think. They have an
Okay.
entertaining team.
They're going to get kicked next round anyway.
I think they get smoked by the Avs.
Think so?
Yeah.
I don't think they'll get smoked. They might lose, but there's no way they get smoked.
Me and James talk about it every day.
Nazem Kadri plays like he did last or 2 nights ago. He might be in for MVP
Nate Mack got another 3 points tonight.
tonight.
Yeah.
Is that series
What's the
over
score?
yet?
It's 3-2 right now. St. Louis just scored to make it 3-2.
What series?
3-1.
For Avs?
Yeah. And Kadri
For
took out
Avs?
Bennington, which was good. Because everybody hates Bennington. God,
I
that
think
guy
he's
was
not.
bad.
I hate Bennington.
I don't think there's more hateable goalie ever than
No,
Bennington.
he's a dink. Cocky
Well,
dink.
then did you
dude.
see he chucked a water ball at Naz in the press
Yeah,
conference?
yeah. So then he came in the next day drinking a water bottle, the same brand.
Who, Kadri?
Yeah.
And then he's getting like death threats and shit online. Yeah, that shit's
Mhm.
gross.
Well, we should get to our goals for the year.
Yeah.
Argos.
So
Argos.
quickly before we get into that, or I mean, before we elaborate on that, I would say we talked about this a couple months ago. I would say we're looking for some guys to I guess take Reggie's stroke saver that he's been doing for the last couple of years kind of into practice, into real life stuff. So we looked for a couple guys. We found Dally Boy. He's going to be one of the lab rats. We got Dan Lehman. He's going to be another. And then Clayton Carefoot, also known as Clayton Clarefoot on the podcast. So they're going to be the lab rats for the year. Rigo, are you willing to take more entrants if somebody else applies in the next week or so?
I would say 5 max.
5 max. Okay.
2 spots.
So we got them. We checked in with them to get their handicaps and to get a few things that they want to work on to improve their handicap. And so we're going to go through those a little bit later as part of Reggie's stroke saver. But first, we're going to talk about what our goals are, and maybe Drums and I can get a bit of help from Dr. Reg himself. He might be wearing a lab coat one of these episodes. We'll see if we can find him one. And so who wants to start?
I'll send it.
Reggie? No, Reggie go, because he's going to be talking a lot after this. So Rigo might as well start.
So I got 3 goals this year. And like we were talking about before, Probably every 4 weeks, maybe on here, we'll do a Lab Rat recap.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And we'll go over our goals, see where we're at with them. I'll touch base with the Rats before those episodes and see where they're at, see if the stroke savers are doing their trick or not. And we'll go from there. So my goals this year, I got 3 of them. They're pretty straightforward, but I'm going to keep track of them on my phone to see if I can pull it off. So the first one is I got less than 7 rounds above 2 over.
For the whole year?
For the whole year, yeah. I can't see myself playing that much this year. That's why I kind of forecasted that. I actually had 5 down originally, but I figured I'd give myself some slack and go to 7. Last year, I really want to get down to a scratch, and I have a bunch of rounds at 1 over, and then I have a few in a row the odd time, like that goes up to like 78. I want to cut those out. So that's one of my goals this year is that.
Probably the best thing you could do there is just not enter those.
But I'll be keeping an update to see where I'm at with that. I'm 1 round in, and I was even, so that's good. I'm okay so far. Second is never have more than 2 3-putts in a round the whole year. It doesn't happen often. I would say tournaments more than anything. Tamarack maybe.
Yeah.
It happens when you have to putt out those, and men's night, I guess. So I'll be keeping track of that. And then I just want to shoot 65 at any course this summer. I came close 65? A couple times last year. I don't know. It's just a number that I shot quite a bit back 8 years ago when things were going good, and I kind of just want to get back there. And I haven't been. I've shot 67 a couple times in the last few years. I think 66 once, but I've never been down to 65. So that's just my target score that I want to get down to this summer for 1 round at least.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to work on to improve that? Because what's your handy right now?
Like I'll say 1. It's like 0.7, 0.07 or whatever it is.
And you want to get to scratch. You want to get in the positives.
Scratch would be good, but I want to shoot 65. I don't care what course.
What are you going to do to get there? What do you got to work on?
Actually, I don't know. I put in a lot of work over the last couple of years, so now I just want to play.
Just execute.
I don't think I want to change too much this summer, yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Actually, you know what? One thing. I'm going to set up the putting mat in the basement. I got to learn how to putt because my putting is shit.
I've tried. It doesn't work.
What do you really gain from it, though? Like,
yeah,
just getting your stroke down pat? Yeah.
Yeah. And just the confidence from 3 feet.
I think you lose a lot of feel, though, doing that. So I've heard and witnessed.
Like, what kind of confidence are you getting? Like, oh, I made this one in the basement yesterday. I got this.
No, just find a stroke that works for the 3-footers because I get kind of handsy on those 3-footers. I just want to find something that I can just go to.
Like Zalatoris.
One thing I did when I used to putt a lot in the basement, I hardly putted this winter, actually, which is sad, but I was doing some other stuff throughout the year, some would say. But one thing that I really got from doing that was like I would try to make like say 50 in a row or something like that, or 100 in a row, whatever it may be, depending on how much time I had. And the nice thing about that was like if I could make 100 in a row, then when I'm on the course and I had a 3-footer, I'd be like, well, like what are the odds that I actually miss this? If I could make 100 of these in a row, there's really no reason that I should be missing this, instead of walking up to the putt and being like, oh, there's a chance that I could miss this, you know? So it is just mostly for confidence of seeing the ball go in the hole and know that you can do it over and over again, and just thinking about like the odds of it. Like if I can make 100 of these in a row, there's really no reason that why I should be missing this one, statistically speaking.
I also, just last thing, and I'm done for a while here anyways. I want to find a way, because when I used to putt well, I was aggressive. And I'd just ram 3-footers like at the back of the cup, and it makes them a lot easier. That's when I was putting my best. But I need to find. I tried it the other day, and if you tell yourself to ram those in instead of it just being the norm, like I found myself that I was hitting the putt. Like I wasn't just letting the putter hit the ball, like I was actually hitting it. And I had a couple wild putts. Like I was like, holy shit, that was an awful putt because I like hit it instead of stroking it to go a couple feet past. So I want to figure out how to do that as well. I think that'll help save a lot of strokes. It's definitely a feel thing. It's something that you have to go to the putting green because you can't just teach yourself it while playing.
Correct. Speaking of ramming it in there, what's the difference between jam and marmalade? Okay. Drums, you want to go or me?
Well, do you want me to answer that?
Google it.
So currently my handicap is at a 16. I plan loose term of plan, but the plan is to try to get down to a 12 by the end of the year, consistently be in that area. The biggest key to me accomplishing that is going to be consistency off the tee. I am not in play a lot of the time, and that kind of hinders where my score can go. Yeah. So if I can get my driver, I guess it's not even necessarily driver, it's literally just off the tee, just get me off the tee, and I can figure something out from there. But no, I want to become a heck of a lot more consistent with my driving accuracy. I actually couldn't care less how far it goes anymore. I just need to be in play. So if I'm 230 yards on my drives, I don't care if it's in play. I'm more than happy. Big one and a hard one, and it's going to probably never be accomplished, but I want to control my emotions a little more on the golf course.
You've gotten a lot better though.
I tend to run pretty hot, and we're coming along a little bit by bit. So continue working on that, and just putting again in general, putting consistency. I'll have one round where I'm good and confident, and my confidence either dismantles me in the next round or it doesn't carry over because I don't know, I get playing head games with myself. So that is my goals for this year.
I like it. Those yeah, I think all three of us can probably attest to not only you, Drums, but all three of us being a little bit more clear-headed on the course and a little happier and less snappy, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think that this podcast has a lot to do with it, right? I believe that because we're talking about it, and if you're aware of things and you're conscious about things, I think it makes a big difference.
Right.
Because otherwise you'd never really think about it. You would just react on the course instead of if you have this kind of stuff somewhere lodged in the back of your brain, it's kind of there when something happens, you know. That's kind of how I feel anyway. So it is a work in progress, I think.
It's like golf therapy.
For sure. Yes. It is. It is.
Like, essentially that's what therapy is just you consistently talking yourself into what you want to accomplish.
Yep. And I feel like if someone's actually, and that, I mean, maybe people don't really give a shit, but I've had quite a few people come up to me and say that they listen to Stroke Savers, or they just listen to how we bullshit on here, and it's actually helped them on the golf course to enjoy the round and to have a better attitude. And, you know, because like you said, Jor, once you hear it and you're actually conscious about it, then yeah, it definitely helps.
Yep.
And we're getting older, boys. Sure. Who knows how many we got left?
Let's hope a lot. God, who knows? Okay, cool, Drum. So you're going from a 16 to a 12. Reggie from a 1 to a 0. And I want to go from I'm usually in between a 7 and an 8. It's probably 7 point something. So I want to get down to a 5, which is going to be hard to do, but I want to try to do it. And the ways. What's that?
No, I would say you definitely have the game to be 5 or lower for sure right now. Just if you silly mistakes here and there. But
the tee box has helped me because I was kind of hovering around that same, maybe a little bit higher for even a few years before that, and I'm way better off the tee, way more consistent. So thankfully, the drive isn't something I need to improve on this year, but I do have a couple things. The first one is the getting rid of the anyways shots. And I think that that's a big difference when you're trying to save 1 or 2 strokes throughout a round, because that's kind of what that is. It's so for those who maybe haven't watched the show before or whatever, the anyways shot is where you go to hit a shot and you either don't feel right about it or you have the wrong club or something changed between there and you don't really want to run back to the cart and change clubs and you just hit the shot anyways. So, for example, this weekend we were in Regina. Actually played a course that Ches recommended, Tor Hill, which we had a hell of a time trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about last podcast.
He messaged me after. I should just talk about that just quickly. Because he said
okay, we'll find it and I'll keep talking here.
Okay.
So I played Tor Hill. It was okay. It was a nice course. The greens were actually really good, which is kind of what you want at this time of year. The layout was okay. It was a city course. There's lots of holes going back and forth, the same direction and vice versa. But from what I understand, the course to play in Regina is Deer Valley when it's in good shape. There's lots of scenery, lots of elevation changes. So definitely next time I'm there, I'm going to be playing Deer Valley. But at Tor Hill, I had a chip shot onto the green. I was probably 10 yards off the green. And there was a bunker kind of in between the hole. I had to come almost go around, and I had my 52-degree wedge, and I knew that if I hit over the bunker at that height, I would have had to stop it really fast. So anyways, I was 10 feet away from the cart, and of course you just want to keep the round moving along. So I hit the shot anyways. I ended up shanking it like 4 feet. So then I went back to the cart, grabbed my other club, and hit it again and made bogey. But that's just a perfect example of how to, save 1 stroke throughout the round, because it was just stupidity, really, and laziness. And it actually cost me more time for the group to go through the routine again and hit another shot. So that's one. Do you want to talk about Ches quickly, Rigo?
Yeah, he did confirm that. He said, "Fuck boys, I have kids too. I was way behind." LMFAO. I was laughing so hard at the end. And then he said, "Have a good time in the city that rhymes with fun."
So how was the course out of 10? What's your rating?
Well, I would say 7 max. There wasn't a whole lot of holes where I was like, or views or anything where I was like, wow, this is a nice course. Just didn't have the wow factor for me, but the greens were really well maintained. And it was a good course. It was a city course. There was some water, there was some bush, some longer holes, some decent par 3s. And so I would say 7. But I think Deer Valley would probably be an 8 or a 9 if it was in good condition. So I'll be playing that next time I'm there.
Just to follow up to your whatever shot there, or anyway shot, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I found actually on Friday that it happens in scrambles too, like a lot more than just regular golf.
Mm-hmm.
Say putting,
because you feel more rush there
there's
too, right?
8 people that are there,
Yeah,
and you're not comfortable. Like I stepped up to a putt on the weekend, and I felt like such a dipshit. But like I backed off once because something didn't feel right, and then I stood up again, and I knew I was going to miss the putt. So I stepped back because I knew that I was going to miss it anyways. So what's the point of doing it? And I guess like we've talked about this on the show before. You don't want to be that guy that steps back on every shot.
right. Yeah.
But you know when something doesn't feel right.
Right.
And there's a lot of the time you hit it anyways, the anyways shot. And we've talked about it. You're out there for that. For example, that day we were out there for like 5 or 6 hours anyways in a scramble. Like the extra
5 seconds isn't going to change
5 seconds isn't going to change anything, but it could change the whole round, right?
Mhm.
Like I ended up missing the putt anyways, but I put a way better putt on it than I would have if I hadn't have. And that happens so much. And like I said, you don't want to be the guy that steps back every hole, but if something isn't feeling right, just step back. You might get some heckling from the boys, but in the end, it'll be worth it.
Yep. Second thing I want to work on is my putting. I tend to be. I have streaks where I'm like, for a couple weeks, I'm like lights out almost, and so I know that it's there. I know how to read putts. I know I have fairly good feel around the greens, but sometimes I just start thinking about my stroke too much, and so that's kind of what gets me into trouble. And so I don't really know how to fix that per se, but maybe just working on, practicing. I don't know. Any
The
tips, Rio?
Yeah, the routine helps a lot to get rid of the thoughts with the
Probably
stroke.
routine. Yeah, probably true. So practice and routine might fix that and save me a couple. Not that I miss like many short putts, but I just don't really capitalize on some of the putts that I should make. Uh, Um, I
But
with
I
the
think
tee
it,
shots I've been hitting and the approach shots, I actually find myself in pretty good position for some birdies, but I'm not able to really make any of them.
I think at times,
So
just from experience and playing with you a whole bunch, I think that uh, you think that if you hit it tight to like 10 feet that it's an auto birdie, but I mean even the pros miss a lot of the putts from
no,
10
I don't.
feet.
I really don't think
No,
that.
not that, but if you miss one, then it tends to snowball to the next couple holes. Like if you stick another one in the next hole and miss another one, then you tend to
Mhm.
get frustrated, and then your putting really goes downhill. Whereas if you make that first one, you can get streaky and make like 3 or 4 in a row. But if you miss that first one, you kind of get it in your head that you need to make this one, or else you're hitting all these shots for nothing. And it's a common thing that a lot of people do. It
Yeah.
like it happens to everybody, but that definitely happens with you because you've been hitting some good approach shots and you miss a couple putts in a row, and then it feels like you're golfing shitty because you missed 2 8-foot putts, but you just hit
Hmm.
4 unreal shots otherwise, right? I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think that the missing one early is part of it, but like the last round I played, like on Wheat City at number one, I put it to like 10 feet and I made the birdie putt to start, but then I followed up with a 3 putt the next hole and for bogey. So it all went off the rails from there. So something to work on anyways. And the last part of my
Mhm.
game is actually kind of similar, is mental, and that has a big thing to do with putting too. And I tend to, if I have a hot start, such as the last example I gave, I start thinking too much about score. And that's the kind of the end of me. Whereas the other way around, if I start poorly, I actually finish really well to try to get to where I always finish anyway. So
Mhm.
it's pretty bad. Don't know how to fix it, but we'll work on it.
Yeah,
Michelob.
that's I think that's the thing most golfers search for is that
Yeah.
ability to stay calm when you're in over your head. I've
Yeah.
never found it. I've found it a couple times, I guess, but it's so easy just to blow up because you're so like we talk about it. You're worried about the score. Really, you're still going to work the next day. You still got to go to your job the next day. You're not making $1 million from shooting the round, yet you
Yeah.
still feel the inner pressure. But I don't know.
So that's that. Let's talk about the lab rats themselves, the actual
Mhm.
ones. So we got Dally, we got Lemur, and we got Clayton.
Yeah, so we'll start
Careful.
with Dally. Dally, our boy, comes in at 23 handicap. Not sure it's ever been measured. That's just what Dal says.
Yeah.
As far as what he wants to get his handicap to, he said he doesn't play enough to improve handicap, but he would like to eliminate chunking his chip. States that doesn't hit a lot of greens, so if he learned how to chip a little better, it might save a lot of strokes off his game, which I tend to
Hmm.
agree with. He's a lot
Yeah.
more consistent off the tee. He's a lot more consistent with his second shots to get them around the greens. Um, the odd time he might chunk one or sculler over the green, but so I agree that if he got his chip and going, his game would change totally.
Hmm.
So he says his priority list on things he wants to work on. Number one being chipping. Number two, reading the greens. Dell's got an amazing putting stroke, maybe
He
one of the
does.
best that I've ever seen.
I just slapped a
Um,
new grip on his putter yesterday too for him.
oh boy, it might mess with things, but
It
anyways,
might.
his stroke is absolutely incredible. Uh, just when it's a straight putt, he makes it almost every time. Does have a tough time reading the greens.
You know what I just thought of with Dallas stroke? The reason it's so good and the reason why mine gets so bad sometimes
He doesn't
is
care.
he follows right through it. Like I can see Dallas putting stroke and he always goes kind of follow throughs, almost over exaggerates it.
Perfect pendulum, very slow, very through.
Do you know why?
Whereas when I'm hitting it bad, like I almost stop immediately after I hit the ball because I'm hitting it.
Right.
Do you know why, in a sense, though?
No, I don't.
Because he doesn't care. So everything's just fluid. He doesn't get handsy at all. It's just
I think to an
straight
extent,
back and straight
like
through.
I think he cares, but
He cares, but I mean, he's not going to start gripping his putter tight and get handsy
Right.
over a putt. If
True.
it goes in, it goes in. But we'll work on that with Dell. And his last thing that he wants to work on is not getting sucked in by the beer cart girl when she says, "Do you want a double?" He says, "Yep." "Do you guys want shots?" He says, "Yep." So if he could change that, he says he would save some strokes on his golf game, which I can attest to. I'm sure you guys can as well.
I get better.
He said that that actually might be number one for him. So
Yeah.
he bumped it up from 3 to 1 after.
So that's Dell. A couple things I can definitely see myself helping with is the chipping. I'm 1,000% going to put myself in his group on Saturday, whether he likes it or not, playing Pleasant Valley. So I can work on that this weekend. So
Nice.
the lab rat will actually get started this weekend.
There we go.
Nice.
So that's exciting.
Who else we got?
Second up, we got Dan Lehman. Or you mean golfing this weekend?
No. Who's next? Who's the next rat?
So Dan Lehman, he's
What a name.
He's a 14 handicap right now. He wants it to be below 10. That I find is like the hardest
hurdle.
The hardest hurdle, to get to a single digit from that kind of that 10 to 13 to 14 category. He said areas that need work, approach shots from 90 yards. That's probably the best part of my game, so I should be able to help him out a little bit with that. Having better execution off the tee when it's a tight fairway. I think we could all use that, but maybe give him some pointers. And not sculling his 3-iron. And I think we all struggle with that. So I think that
in order to the bag
to key in for him, I think that I'll focus on that 90 yards and in. It could be a couple of really easy things that could help save a lot of shots from there. So I'm looking forward to working with that. As far as the tee shot, that's what we talk about with the it's good that he has a couple different things too, because like the areas that need work for the approach shots, I would say that's something technical I could tell him, whereas the having better execution off the tee is something mental, which we kind of talk about on here. That's different ways that you can save strokes. It's not all technical. Yeah,
kinda.
Not technical. Like I'm not changing his swing for those tight shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but probably will. For
right. Yeah, you're right. You'd have to change the swing for the drive probably to
Yeah.
To really get after it.
Clayton Carefoot, our last rat for now. Like I said, I'll take up to 2 more. Currently a 12 handicap. Would be nice to get to 9. As we just touched on, that's the toughest hill to climb or mountain to get over.
You got some work cut out for you, Reggie.
Yeah, that's tough, but we'll figure it out. 3 things that need work. Chipping. Says he's got it figured out right now. Most of the time for experienced golfers who are in that 8, well, let's say scratch to 12, scratch to 15. You're usually a pretty good chipper in that area. You go through lulls when you have no confidence and things go to hell. You filling a fish tank over there?
No.
So chipping, that's one thing that'll come and go. Maybe give him a couple pointers to check in on, I guess, if things start going bad with that. Pressure putts, mental thing, and driver's inconsistent. His biggest thing, he says, would be getting off the tee. So yeah, there's some stuff to work on here for sure. It's a good start, and so like I said, I'll be touching with those guys. Probably get a video of Dan swing. I might be able to see Clayton. He lives out at the lake there at Dauphin, so maybe I'll just cruise out there one night and go to the range or something and play a few holes. And then Dal, I'll get working with him this weekend. So things should shape up pretty good here. And probably every 4 weeks we'll do a lab rat recap on here, and we'll go from there. I'm pretty excited for it.
I like it. Yeah, I like it too. Once again, Rigo does not have his CPGA. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Certification, but he's a scratch golfer. So, and he's actually really good at finding out what people quickly too, what people are doing wrong and how he could change that. So,
I would say that I'm not I don't know enough to change someone's swing, but to tweak it to make their swing work.
Yeah, which is what you should do, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's exciting. So if you are interested in becoming the 4th and or 5th lab rat, and you're a listener of the show, reach out to us as soon as possible. Rigo will be taking the first 2 who apply. So I'm thinking we might actually get a couple more now that we're actually golfing, because this was introduced kind of in like January or February when nobody was really thinking about golf. So that's it. I think it'll just be cool for guys to have some accountability, have a few things that they can work on, and just see what happens. It'll be cool to kind of track throughout the summer, I think. So that's that.
Update really quick here.
Update
real quick. Nate, St. Louis tied it 3-3 with 5 minutes left. Nate got his third of the game with 3 minutes left. And Bobby Thomas tied it up with a minute left. So they're going overtime.
Holy cow. Wild.
The Nate dog with the hattie, baby.
There's a lot of hat tricks in this playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's okay. Quickly, we were talking about Tor Hill there in Regina. I watched a movie on the weekend. You guys will be familiar with it. And I want to see, is this the greatest movie of all time?
Yes.
Project X.
I haven't seen it in forever.
That's a wild movie.
You have to watch it. You have to watch it. It's so good. Like from the first 5 seconds of that movie where he's in the fridge and singing to like literally the last part of the movie. Like there's not many movies like that like are funny throughout the whole thing. And like, you know what I mean? Like that through the whole thing, laughing and like so much going on. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't really remember it. It's probably one of those ones where you watch it the second time, you notice more too.
Oh my God. It's such a funny movie. Such a good movie too.
Yeah.
And it's based on a true story too.
Yeah. I remember that it was a true story. I don't know that I kind of liked it as much as you did. I thought it was like fine.
Oh,
banger of a soundtrack with the Kid.
Yes. And that's a big part of it too. Yeah. So Project X, check it out. I don't even know what it was on. Maybe Amazon, maybe Netflix, not sure, but one hell of a movie from start to finish, which is rare because a lot of those comedies are like they have lots of funny parts, but then they like try to tell the story and it kind of like fades away and just becomes lame.
And then they get into a love story and whatever and shit like that.
So Project X, like at the end of it, there's the drug dealer who had like all his ecstasy in that gnome that they shattered everywhere, and then he's going down the block with his flamethrower and like torching the whole block, and then the car goes in the pool.
I gotta watch it again.
You have to watch it. It's so good. Okay, so segments, drums. You want to go? You see this?
Sure. I got a couple. You see this, and did you know? Again.
Love it.
So for the first, you see this. Do you guys remember Seth Green?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actor was in Austin Powers, voiced Chris on Family Guy.
Seth Green, is that Scotty? Scotty?
Yeah, Scotty.
Big time pedophile, no?
Don't know about that one. Could be. Anyways.
I thought that's who. That Cappy, remember him?
Cappy?
Yeah, the guy who got like killed on the side of Route 90 or something. Because he was making all those YouTube videos. You don't know Cappy?
No.
Oh, you should look him up. Anyways, he was buddies with Seth Green and he was talking about it.
Okay, so aside from that.
That's just what I think of first when I think of Seth Green, because I liked him too until I
Seth Green?
Listen to that Cappy, yeah.
You know what other movie he's in? As Without a Paddle. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah.
That was a great movie. We watched that like a month ago.
I like that movie a lot.
Anyway, so last summer he bought a bunch of NFTs, bought a bunch of what do you call them? The Bored Apes.
Mm-hmm.
So he had actually developed a TV show around the characters that he purchased. Full blown, got green lit. It was about to, I think they were going to start to go into like post production, so like getting it sold to networks, that type of thing. But he did release a trailer. But over the weekend, he was victim of a phishing scam and had his NFTs stolen.
From a kid?
Yeah, so some
Kidding,
kid,
just kidding, no.
some kids still, yeah, it's funny. A little payback. But no, somebody stole his NFTs, so they stole his ape and then resold it. So this other guy has this ape that he's developed an entire television show around and won't give it back because he paid all this money to purchase this NFT. Obviously, he's not just going to hand it over back to Seth Green.
Jesus.
Wild.
NFTs are taking a hit right now, Zor.
Oh, big time.
Huge.
Well, you know what I've always said from the start was like 99% of them are just junk. And like the NFT itself is different than like what the artwork is. Like the artwork and like this kind of stuff that we're seeing right now is just basically the first like introduction to what an NFT is. But
right.
And 99% of them are scams. And if the actual creators of the NFTs don't end up adding any value to like the community and the NFT project itself, they'll go to zero.
Right.
And that's what a lot of them are. And but the NFT itself, like the process of it and like the digital ownership verification will be years, like the technology and how it's on the blockchain, like we'll be using that for years to come. So it's hard to really lump the artwork and like the Bored Ape bullshit into the NFT stuff itself. But like the technology and stuff will be around for a very long time.
My next, do you see this? Did you guys see the photo, or maybe it was a video, of the crowd watching Tiger swing, where everybody was on their camera?
Michelob.
And then there's one absolute legend just standing there, like the proudest papa ever with his Michelob Ultra in his hand.
Yeah.
They turned that. They flipped and turned that into an amazing commercial.
Oh yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. So
yeah.
it starts off. It's basically just pans through the crowd watching, and it says some legends play in the moment, and then some live it, and it zooms in on Homeboy just sitting there with his beer watching Tiger while everybody else is staring through their phone.
So this was on the weekend this happened, and they already have
I think it was Friday. Yeah. I think they had it like Monday. They had this commercial out.
Wow. Good work, yeah. Michelob.
And also they're selling like merch with this guy on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I
hope Buddy got a bag for it too.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Or at least Michelob's for life.
Got a bag for it. I like that.
So and then my did you know is at Southern Hills Country Club, which we were just at for the PGA Championship. In 1981, the parking lot was the scene of a mob hit.
Really? In 81?
Yep. Wow. So the owner of the World High-Lie League, remember what High-Lie is? It's like they have like
whip it?
Yeah, you whip those balls.
Like when the guys on Jackass.
On Jackass, that's exactly what I think of when I see it. So this guy was murdered in the parking lot of Southern Hills Country Club.
Oh.
The order came down from the Boston mob head, Whitey Bulger, after this guy had uncovered that the Boston mob was skimming off of the World High-Lie League and got wind that he was going to rat them out to the authorities and in turn clipped them in the golf course parking lot.
Wow.
Pretty little crazy tie-in. And it's funny because I was listening to this podcast about Whitey Bulger and the Boston mob and stuff about a month and a half ago. And then I was like, oh shit, Southern Hills, I'll bring that up when we get to the PGA. And so I was saving it. And then I was listening to Spit and Chicklets today and Whit brought it up too. And I was like, oh fuck, he blew up my little tidbit.
Hey, do you think that he got to play, or do you think he got killed when he got there?
I don't know. I actually looked for that, but I think it was after the round. So I think it was
nice.
At night.
How do you think he played?
He must have played, yeah.
Do you think he made the putt on 18?
Yeah. So he was all pissed up, had a good round, came out and got clipped.
That's tough. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't change their name after the shooting, like all the bars in Winnipeg do every time there's a shooting. Oh, forgot about that one.
Johnny Rockets.
We're now the OC.
Stupid people like me just think they got a name change.
Oh, new bar.
Yeah, new bar, baby. Okay, drums. That segment has been hot, and it continued that way tonight. I like it. Are you planning on extending the contract for UC this?
Yeah, I'll keep it going. Oh, the other one I had written down was, I'm sure you guys will be invested in this as well, but Ricky Gervais just had a new special come out on Netflix Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. I saw you got a lot of heat, so I'm definitely be watching that.
Yeah, so that'll be on the docket the next couple of days here.
Whenever people get in trouble for it, that's when I watch. If the news says it's good, I avoid.
Oh, also on that, did you see the guy that attacked Chappelle got arrested for attempted murder from like previously? I think it was in January or something. He tried murdering his roommate and then had like vanished until he popped up on stage. So that guy, completely fucked his life up.
Tough night for the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're an hour and 10 in here, and I'm 3 beers deep. Only intended on being 2, so, but we'll do 2 pina coladas quick. I'll try to keep it as fast as possible. It's nothing educational tonight. It's actually a precursor for next week, and a little bit of a tidbit for anybody who's listening to this. They're going to have an advantage, some would say. So, drums, I haven't approached you with this yet, as usual, but I'm hoping you can help out a little bit in this scheme. So, as part of King Golf's 3-year anniversary, one of the weeks that we were going to do was for any purchase you want, if you pay with Litecoin, you get 40% off. So, I was going to post something today about it, but I actually wanted to wait a week and kind of have a little bit of a build up for it and maybe give people a chance to get set up for it. So first thing, if you're interested in it, I'm going to post a link on our website to help you out and to get set up. So it's really easy to do. And so hopefully maybe reduce some of the friction involved in there. So that's one part. You can check that. I'm hoping to have it up on the weekend, probably. The content or the promotion will start next week. But part 2 of that is going to be next week's episode of the Kingdom is going to be a live one. As we've been doing every second week, we've been doing live episodes. So what I'm going to propose to drums is for everybody who's watching the next episode live, we're going to do a trivia. I don't know if it's going to be maybe 5, 7, 8, 10 questions. And whoever is the first, me and Rigo will be monitoring the chat, and whoever is first to respond with the correct answer will actually send them some T-Fuel. So hoping to maybe get some new people involved into the blockchain and crypto stuff. And so it's super easy to do. If you're listening to this and need to get a little bit of help on it and you want to participate in next week's show, so we're actually not going to we're not going to post this on social media or anything like that. But if you're listening to this, next week's live episode, we're going to do a live trivia by Drums. Drums is a trivia king. We always used to do trivia in the really early days of the Kingdom. So he's got a lot of good.
Got released.
No, they didn't get released, but he's got a lot of good questions. So like I said, Drums will be doing trivia. Rigo and I will be monitoring the chat and watching to see who the first answer is.
Wrench guy's not coming on?
What's that?
Wrench guy's not coming on?
Dally?
Yeah.
We tried giving Dell the wrench once. And then he didn't show up for the next one. So. So that's that. I think that, like I said, I'll be putting a link on our website for how to get some Litecoin. It'll be 40% off. So, the whole process itself should take about 10 minutes to get set up, and you're going to save 40%. If you're actually been waiting for some King Golf merchandise or you want some, it's a pretty good time to do it. And the second one, if you're around next week, it'll be Tuesday, I think, because I got to go to Hecla on Wednesday night. So if you guys are around Tuesday, but we'll do a live trivia for some T-Fuel.
Won't be Tuesday.
Won't be Tuesday. Okay.
I got men's night, and I can't skip 2 weeks in a row.
Maybe I'll do it from the hotel room in Hecla then. Probably.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. side note to the 2 pina coladas. Jor is about as knowledgeable as it gets when it comes to getting set up with crypto, how to get an account, which accounts to set up on, i.e. Binance, ShakePay, things like that. Sooner or later, this is still in the very beginning stages. I agree with Jor on that. Not many people in the world actually have it right now. He's giving basically some free advice right now, and I would, if you were smart, you'd take advantage of it right now before things change in a couple of years here, or even a year, and you have to start paying advisors to do that for you. There's a very good opportunity to get into it right now, and I don't know if there's too many guys better and more knowledgeable than Jor when it comes to the getting into that.
Thanks,
To the
Reggie.
moon.
I would say there's a lot of people more knowledgeable, but not on this podcast. So
I keep
Jor,
asking
mate.
where Lambo, but
when
I don't have
where
Lambo
Lambo
yet.
and when Moon. Yeah. So maybe just to touch on that quickly, Rigo, like for people on here, I don't mind giving some free advice. Actually, something that I'm working on now is a company that has been launched officially. I'm working with a couple financial firms in Brandon, New Outlook Wealth and Cardinal. And so I got Silverstone Solutions. That's the name of the company. I'm helping people who are interested get into it. I can't provide financial advice per se because there's not even a certificate for this industry yet. So if you've been listening to the podcast and if you have any interest in it, we're obviously not going to pressure you or tell you that it's a really good investment, whatever. If this is something that you have to kind of figure out on your own, but there is a lot of shit out there. And so it helps a lot to have somebody that you trust and that you know that can kind of help you through the first couple steps. And that's kind of what I'm doing for the next little while. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd be happy to help you. So that's it. Silverstone Solutions might be the new sponsor of the show. Since Spence won't do it, we might be going to Silverstone to be the number one sponsor of the show. So
Love it. All right, boys.
That's it. Hour 17. This might be the longest epi ever, maybe second longest. I don't know.
I think we had a couple and we went on forever.
It was a good one though. I knew we had a lot to talk about, and we got through it. So Lab Rats, good luck for the next couple weeks, and we'll see the progress on it. Drums, send us out of here, baby.
Okay, let's peace out. Continue to follow us as you always do. We will be back next week with a live show. We're not sure the date, but you will be informed prior. Let's get out of here. Love you, boys. Peace.
See you, boys.
Love you, fellas.